Hello and welcome to the 25th episode of my survival Let's Play series. And to celebrate, I am level 125. I actually didn't do that on purpose, but that's pretty cool that that happened the way it did. Anyway, we have a lot of stuff to cover in this episode, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am super duper excited. Let's go. As you can see, we're currently starting our episode on top the roof of our house, and it's pretty exciting to be back home again. I've been working over at the Guardian farm so much that, you know, lately, with covering it all in sand and doing all that stuff, it's been pretty exhausting, and I've been there so long that it's kind of weird to be back here, back at our house. It feels like a whole different thing. But it's episode 25, and I thought that to celebrate 25 episodes, we could do a world tour of everything we've built thus far in the last 25 episodes, because actually it's a lot. Even just looking around here, there's a lot to look at, and there's so much that's underground, and there's so much that's not even right here. But I figured that would be a really good thing to do. So what do you guys say? I mean, obviously I'm already doing it, so you don't actually have any say, but I can pretend like, oh hey, there's a piggy who wants to join us. Hey Harold. Hey Percival. Well, we'll get to you guys and all this other stuff later, but yeah, let's do a world tour. I guess the best place to start is right here. This witch hut is like the first place we stopped. I can't really see on top of it, but when I first found this swamp, I ended up on top of this witch hut, and I had to jump down and kill a witch, and that's one of the first things that we did. So this witch hut right here is like, it was our base for like the first 2 episodes, was just inside this tiny little space. We had some chests up here and a bed, and eventually what we decided to do after we killed the witch and cleared some of the swamp trees away from this area is build this house that's right over here. This house right here. Now, it didn't have this on it. That was added later. Initially, it just had a tower. But we built this house, and this was in like our 2nd or 3rd episode. I don't really remember quite when. And initially, it was a little bit different on the inside. It had this stuff. The library was in the middle of the floor, and I had some chests over here on this side, which is where I was storing all my stuff. But largely, the shape of the house has stayed pretty much the same. Obviously, this side has changed a little bit, and we have since attached it to the witch's cabin, the witch hut. But in general, this house has stayed just about the same. We had this deck on the outside. I added a little bit more decking later on, right here on this side, because I wanted to hook our house up to the mine shaft, which is right down here. And the mine shaft, this is our first real mine shaft of the series, and really it's been the only one we've used thus far. It didn't initially have all these rails down. Originally, it was just like, you know, some stairs, and before that, it wasn't even stairs, and it was actually outside, and this was inside, and all this hallway right here that we're standing in was added on to our house so that we could attach our mine to our house pretty easily, which obviously now we've done, and I guess that means this is as good a time as any to head down there. So let's actually head down to the bottom of the mines. This is the bottom of our mine shaft right here. These logs were added for decoration later on, and this whole contraption was added a little bit later on. But most of this is, I mean, it's pretty similar to what we were initially doing. I've just been strip mining, basically, in a kind of straightforward direction. You can see lots of places where I've been digging way far down. This is where we get all of our diamonds and things, and this is actually about as far as I made it, because I usually dig really, really far. And with an iron farm, you know, we'll get to the iron farm later, but with an iron farm, mostly what I'm digging for is, I mean, diamonds, I guess. That's really the diamonds and redstone, and I have more than enough redstone from all of this, so. But I guess moving on to this thing right here, this is an automatic unloading, loading, transportation item system that delivers the idea was to take everything we were mining that we didn't have to run all the way back upstairs and put it away. We could just put it in this chest, and this minecart would take it all the way up for us and then come back for another shipment. That made it, especially once we got mending on our tools, it made it so that our only bottleneck for how much time we could spend down here mining was when we ran out of torches, which clearly I've placed a lot of around here. So I've been pretty generous with the torches. But yeah, the idea was that I didn't want to constantly have to return upstairs to drop off stuff because my inventory was getting full. And this thing works rather remarkably. Actually, I don't need all these torches on me, so I'll drop those off, and we'll get to see those, you know, go in. It'll happen slowly, but they'll go in, and then this thing will drive away, and it'll go all the way up, drop the stuff off, and come back down. And now, since then, what we've done is we've attached this system to our underground sorting system. So it actually takes it up, all the way up, and then takes it back down and drops it down in our automatic sorting system. You can see there it goes, zooming up through here. And I love this device. I think it works brilliantly. It drops off everything that we need it to and then goes upstairs. It's a nice little automatic sorting system, and I think it looks really, really nice. The other thing that we did a little bit later on is even after we built all of these rails, I came through later and made the walls look a lot fancier. So actually, let's take a look at those as we move up. You can see I like to use lots of like mossy cobblestone and gravel, and I acted like the fences were kind of holding back the walls of the cave, and the oak logs were sort of like holding up the ceiling, I guess. That was kind of the idea, is that's what they were doing. It sort of works. The ceiling is a little cramped in places, so if you're on the stairs, it feels a little bit too short. But when you're looking up, it doesn't. I don't know. It's frustrated me a little bit, and I've thought a couple times about raising the ceiling, but I don't know if I will. But I think this looks really, really nice, and it drops the minecart drops off right here, as does this chest right here. I can put anything I want in this chest, and everything will go down here. If I were to, I guess, dig back here, you would see there's a whole slew of things, and they carry themselves all the way over here. They go underneath the floor where we are now, and then they go into the sorting system down here. And we'll get to the sorting system in a minute. What I want to do first I guess I want to put these blocks back. One of the first things we set up, probably our first farm, this had to have been in the first couple episodes, was the skeleton farm. And I haven't used it a lot since, only a couple times. Oh, that's going to bug me. I didn't realize there's one block of diorite right there. I'll have to go get some stone and replace that. But down here, we made a skeleton farm. And it's pretty simple. We get, you know, I guess I need some arrows, so I'm glad I have that. But the way the farm works is there's a hole dug all the way up to the sky right here. And the skeletons there's a spawner nearby, and they get dropped off via water stream to that point. And we just hang out up here, because up here is pretty close to where the skeletons spawn. You can already hear them jingling around a little bit, the bone jingling sound of skeletons. They get dropped off by water stream over to here, and if it was daytime, they would be burning alive, but currently it's evidently nighttime based on the fact that they're not burning. So there's a bed over here, just so that we can sleep. And then, as you can hear already, down here, they burn alive. And we don't get any XP from it, unless we also hit them, I guess. But yeah, we've never really made this room look pretty, so that's maybe something we can do in the future. I've been wanting to make some stuff a little bit prettier and do a little bit more aesthetic building lately, but this supplies us with a fair amount of bones. I haven't AFK'd here in a while, so it's something I should do soon, because I'm actually running out of arrows, and I don't want to make them. I could also make an infinity bow, I guess, but I like having mending on my bow, and I can't have both. But anyways, it's a really simple skeleton farm. It just dug all the way up to the ceiling and let the sun kill him. Eventually, we attached the, as you saw outside, the giant chimney thing to the side of our house, and I put in this smelter. And right now, it's making glass. Quite a lot of it, actually. And for the record, in case you're wondering what these giant piles of chests are, I moved over all of the sand from the Guardian farm. It took a very, very, very long time, but I did it eventually. So just, you know, that's what those chests are, and I'm turning some of it into glass because we don't have that much sand storage, and I frankly just don't need that much sand. But while we're over here, I wanted to talk about one of the next things we did in our series was very early on, I wanted to make an AFK fish farm, and I decided to put it underneath the witch hut and attach the witch hut to the rest of the house. And this was actually a really, really fun episode. I really enjoyed this one because in this episode I worked on this, and I had some previously recorded footage that I sent you guys to go check out in the Nether when I took on, and actually that reminds me, that caused our first death of the series, but we'll get to that in a minute. Right now what I'm looking at is this fish farm right here, which works excellently. I haven't used it in a little while. Um, there's I don't know if there's anything left in it right now. It might be empty. Yeah, I haven't used it in a little while. We get lots of magic books and magic bows and all kinds of stuff for it. I did a whole lot of AFKing here so we could get all the enchantments for our armor and stuff like that. And I do have this system, which I built a little bit later. This dispenser spits items into lava, but only the items that I let go in there, and that's only when I do this. So if I had, for instance, a couple of torches in here, just 3 torches in there, they stay in there right now. But if I were to flick this lever, they would go into the system and get pushed into the lava. And that's just because we had too many saddles, too much leather, too much, like leather boots and things like that. Things we just didn't need. But that's our AFK fish farm. I never really did anything with this. I guess maybe we should turn this into something as well. I'm not really sure what. Maybe... Yeah, I don't really know. I never really thought about putting anything else in here. Maybe we should at some point. That's something to think about. If you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and put those down in the comments. But that's something to think about. One of the other things that we were doing right around the same time is we built ourselves a nether portal. And this nether portal right here is something I've been insanely proud of for the whole series, because I love the fact that I built like this hill right here. And it looks a little funky, you know, it doesn't look quite like a natural hill, and that's okay with me. But I love having the nether portal inside a hill instead of just having like a random black obsidian box in the middle of nowhere. It just didn't make much sense. But I love having this hill encased, like, you know, greenery encased nether portal. I just think it looks really, really cool. I'm really quite proud of it. And we also built this path going up to it. And the path stays pretty much the same all over our little area right here. It goes all the way over there to the Great Rail, and we have another version of it over here that connects with our tree and goes over to the string farm and to our excavation site, which we'll get to a little bit later. I guess first let's go into the nether. Just well, maybe we'll wait to go in the nether. Let's wait to go in the nether. We can look at the blaze stuff later, but we did die in the nether. That was our first death, as we were killed by blazes, and that was pretty darn unfortunate. Oh, I can't climb up. And we saved a keepsake in here, right here, burned to a crisp. You know, that's our first death. We were burned to a crisp by blazes. And our second death is Village Protector, which I guess we'll talk about on our way over to the iron farm. I just closed the door on this pig's head. Are you okay? I think he'll be okay. But let's head down here. We'll walk down this path, and we'll make our way. I guess we'll look at this other stuff while we're here. These came later, these custom trees and this little custom grotto right here. But I love them. I think they look really nice. I did like a nice little terraforming episode where I built, you know, a couple different cool things. Over here, you know, I built like this other little lake area with some, you know, stony things around it. I really like it. I really like the way it looks. I did another one up here with another like little like, I think it's called a grotto, something like that. Oh, I need to eat something clearly. But we'll get over here first so we can actually see this. But yeah, I built another little area down here. It has some flowing water going down into it. I think it looks really nice, actually. I really like this. You know, a little bit of sugar cane, some nice green, you know. I built, you know, some hedges and things and vines and things. I really like the way this, I really like this style. Lots of gray and green. That seems to be my themes. Right here is the hole down to the skeleton farm. I was talking about I dug a hole all the way up to the surface. Well, I put a piece of glass in it so that nothing falls down there. But that is the hole down to the skeleton farm we were just at earlier. And then over here is the Great Rail. This took me a while to build, and I kept running out of resources because it used a lot of dark oak. But if we go down here, you'll see this is a pretty simple little rail. It leads us over this lake right here, and out of the swamp, past a roofed forest, and into a spruce, like a taiga biome. Sorry if the rails are a little bit loud. But yeah, this leads us all the way over here to what I call Piggy Town. That's what I call this place, Piggy Town. And it's because we first built our iron farm here. The iron farm didn't initially have this this ceiling and building right here. When I first built it, it was just this hole in the ground that I covered in glass. And the idea here is that we have villagers. Currently, they're piggy villagers because we're being haunted by I don't know if it's like her ghost or something, but the witch we first killed in the first season, she's been haunting us and turning things into pigs. We'll get to that later too, because our villager friend got turned into a pig. But initially, there was a village here. And we got a villager friend from there named Harold, and he got turned into a pig, and he lives upstairs of our house now. But initially, this was all a village. We cleared it all out later, and we used the villagers from it to make this iron farm right here. And what we did was we dug into the ground, we put the villagers here, and we put some doors here, and it spawns iron golems for us. And then the iron golems die in the lava, and down below in here, we get iron for it. Right in here. We've only got a little bit right here because, once again, I haven't been doing a lot of AFKing lately, so we should probably do some more, but we're actually doing okay on iron levels right now back at our house. And then once I built the house here, the little entrance to Piggy Town, whatever this place is, I decided to make this, a piggy-powered iron farm, and I put Penelope here in a minecart. And she doesn't actually do anything, but she looks over the iron farm and does what she's supposed to. And then eventually after that, what we did is we cleared out this whole village. We took away all the stuff that was here, and I guess I made an infinite water source right there. And we planted some things. We cleared out the village, and we planted all of this stuff here. All this, like, farming stuff. It was actually relatively recently that we did all of this, but since we're here, we'll talk about it now. Just, planting some crops in case we need to get to them. I don't think I've ever even harvested this stuff yet. I just thought it was a good idea to have some crops, but I already want to do some changes and I want to turn these sugarcane farms into redstone, like, automatic sugarcane farms. And also, I guess, while we're here, let's actually plant some sugarcane, because I didn't realize that we hadn't planted all this stuff. So let's actually plant this stuff right here, because I forgot that. Oh, I planted 2 there. Whatever. But yeah, I didn't realize we had forgotten to plant all this stuff and still hadn't done it. But there we go. That's all been planted. It's becoming nighttime, so I should probably go sleep inside the bed, over here in the, I don't know, the piggy house, whatever this thing is called. I don't really know what this is, but we'll go down here and we'll sleep. But yeah, this area is pretty cool. Eventually, I want to come back here and we are running relatively low on wood, which is part of the reason I put all these trees here, and I want to start collecting all the wood types a little bit more seriously. So we should have every wood type right here. We've got jungle, we've got acacia, we've got dark oak, we've got regular oak, we've got spruce, and we've got birch. Plus we have I think we have every crop. We've got melons here, pumpkins, we've got carrots over here, some more pumpkins, sugar cane up here, potatoes, and I'm guessing beetroot over here, more sugar cane, and then we should have more wheat and carrots over here, done in rows, because I actually learned from, like, an Exumavoid myth-busting video that the crops actually grow faster in rows, so I decided to plant them that way. But yeah, this is, a pretty simple little place. Eventually, I want to turn most of this, if not all of this, into redstone farms. I want this to be like I want Piggy Town to be kind of a complex of redstone farms, and this is where we can AFK here for iron, as well as pumpkins and sugarcane and all kinds of stuff. So that's part of my plan, is to eventually do that. For now, though, I think that's everything we really need to be looking at over here. Obviously, you can kind of see the raised, like, bridgeway that we built for the Great Rail. And once again, yeah, this took me quite a long time, but it's hard to say that anything took me a long time in retrospect now that I've done the Guardian Farm, because that took me a really long time. But anyway, let's go back home. Of course, before we had the Great Rail, we had to take a boat over there, which sucked, but it is what it is. So yeah, we're back at home now. We can see, we can maybe look a little bit more at some of the custom terrain that I was doing over here. And I mean, I really do like this stuff, and I want to do more of it as well. I want to start really making this place look nice and look intentional and purposeful. This is our big tree we built. I did this, I was attempting to stream on Twitch. And I needed something to do, so I decided it would be building a custom tree. And so I built this custom tree. And I love it. We've got a little rope swing here, which I think is really nice. We can climb up here. And then if I click into F5, you can see here I am hanging out in this rope swing. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually swing, but that's the way it goes. And then the other thing that we did, we'll get to, I mean, where do we want to go next? I'm deciding, do we want to go check out this stuff? Do we want to go into the nether? Do we want to go, man, I just don't even know. Well, let's go check out this stuff since we're over here. So sometime recently, it feels recent, I was digging around and I found a cave spider spawner in an abandoned mine shaft, and I decided I wanted to connect like a natural looking tunnel down to it and make a string farm because I needed wool and string for other things, and I didn't have a good way of getting lots of it. And so I found this natural cave right here and another one over here, but I needed to kind of go down this way. So I just dug kind of a staircase down and then made it look a little bit more chaotic. And to be fair, I kind of wish I would have made it a little more windy, but that's okay that we did that. We still make, I think it still looks really cool, really nice and cool, and like this nice natural green and with all these other different blocks. And then it transitioned into these bricks, and we end up in this area down here, which is where our string farm is. And I really like this string farm. They get killed from falling damage. You can sort of see down there is where they fall. We get string in here, and we have so much string, more than I even know what to do with, which is great. And I like the look of this little place with the quartz and red nether brick. I think it looks really nice. We have an item elevator coming to bring all this stuff up to us. It's a really simple little system, but it works really well. I did it really quickly, and then the most exciting thing happened. I was digging around trying to figure out the ways in which I wanted to get, to and from, and I found this other little piece of cave, and it led me down to a fossil. And this is one of the projects I'm the most proud of. This is the fossil. Now, initially, this didn't get to see any sky. I had to dig this all the way up. This was just underground, and it was completely encased in rock and stone. And we can look at it up close if you guys want. Here, right here, we can see the bones that we found. This cool fossil under the ground. And I think it just looks right here. We'll climb up this ladder and go up onto our scaffolding up here and look at it. I think that this place looks really, really cool. I love this cool idea of making an excavation site. I thought it'd be cool to add some hieroglyphics or something into the wall. That's why I use this stuff. And the hieroglyphics got me thinking about the Egyptians and got me thinking about wanting to add some more color into this build. And then I got thinking about lapis, which was actually it's a real thing that exists in the real world, and it was actually treasured by the Egyptians. Egyptian blue was made of lapis, and it was incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. So I decided that this is some kind of ancient burial ground / Egyptian blue lapis mine. I don't really know. Maybe it lacks clarity, but I still think it's pretty cool. And this ladder up here will take us all the way to the surface, and where I transformed the swampy landscape into this sandstony excavation site kind of landscape. And the reason actually I thought to do the lapis blue is because I had a blue bed and I laid it down right here, and I just thought it looked so good against the sandstone that I wanted to add some of that in there. And then I wanted to add in a crane pulling the lapis out of there. So after I finished doing all of the digging and stuff, I added this really cool crane, and I love this crane. Obviously, it doesn't actually operate. I think it'd be really cool if it did, but it doesn't. But we do have, this other cool little entrance that you can get to by vines, and we've got, some more vines that go all the way up to the surface over here. And I just think this looks really, really nice. I love the look of this place. I don't know if there's actually anything in these. Oh, there is. There's leftover materials, rails and stuff. Here, let's actually pick those up. I didn't realize I left this stuff all in here. Well, we'll go back home. We'll go back to the sorting system and put it all in there. That's what we should be looking at next, is the sorting system. So anyway, this is the mine, and I really, really enjoy it. I think it looks really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this process as well. It's one of the pieces I'm the most proud of. And actually, since we're, I guess we'll go down this way real quick, because I just wanted to hit especially hard that probably my favorite part in this whole world is right down here. Specifically when you walk into this area. I love this. I think just the transition looks so nice. I think this right here is the thing I'm the most proud of, maybe. I don't know. I'm also pretty proud of the new Guardian farm. But this, right, I just love this cool green sandstone and stone, and the way it transitions in. I think it looks really, really nice. Yeah, I think it looks great. So I just wanted to pay special attention to that because I really like the way that that looks. But anyway, if we go back up over here, we can actually return home, and let's go look at our sorting system that's downstairs. Back over here at our house, you can see, I don't know if we'll actually go to the jungle today because there's not much to look at, but at the jungle, we found both a kitty and a parrot. The parrot's name is Bartleby, and the kitty's name is Riley, after my cat that I had growing up. But yeah, let's actually go back down here and go check out the sorting system. This took a very, very long time to clear out and build. In this room, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, this is the map to our ocean temple, and these are the puzzle that we found there made out of gold blocks. This room, actually, I plan to deal with in the next episode. I want to do something with this room for episode 26, so know that that is coming. But down here is our sorting system, and actually, let's start by looking at the redstone. I built a automatic sorting system. The design is Tango Tex, and you can go look at my episode where I built this. I feel like this was like episode 15 or something like that. I don't really remember. I've actually had it for a little while now, even though it feels pretty recent. But it automatically sorts things into these stacks of double chests, and then up here is where we actually access it all. And everything from our mine shaft and the chest that we have up above our mine shaft and everything we put into this input chest here automatically gets sorted into this system. And you can see I've been filling it up, actually. We are doing pretty well. We've got some prismarine stuff here. I got a lot of the prismarine blocks for taking out that temple, so let's actually, while we're here, just offload all this stuff that we don't need right now. This stuff will take a while to sort into the system, but that's okay. You can see we've got all the iron from our iron farm. We've got loads of good stuff here. There's a couple chests that aren't hooked into it. The one with the saddles, the one with the tools, and the one with the potions in it are all not hooked into this system. I think I might replace the one with the saddles with something else, though. Maybe I'll actually hook it into the system and do something else with it, because I don't even have a horse yet. I should really get a horse. I should also get a dog. I don't have any of that stuff yet. I also built a chest on the wall, and I haven't decided if this is going to stay or not, or if I'm going to do something else with it. I really don't know. I don't really like it, but I guess we'll see. Anything that doesn't get sorted gets sorted into here, like this gold sword I clearly don't have a place for. I guess I could put it in here if I wanted to. I don't really care enough right now, but that's what we have here, and some empty chests, and some chests full of blaze rods, because I have too many blaze rods. It's not even full. I moved some somewhere else, but this is our automatic sorting system. I'm pretty proud of it. I guess we've looked at pretty much everything at our house. I think we should probably make our way into the nether. What time of day is it? It's definitely nighttime, so let's sleep. I guess one thing to mention right now is Percival is our pet pig that we've had almost since the beginning. We put a saddle on him. He's just a friend of ours. Harold was a villager. In episode 8, he was our apprentice. We were teaching him potion brewing, and by extension, I was teaching all of you potion brewing. And he disappeared and then turned up a little while later as a pig, which was very, very sad. And I guess, yeah, well, since I mentioned that, let's actually go check out the place that we found him when he got turned into a pig. I'll need a boat, so we'll have to go get a boat, but let's go check that out. I got ourselves a jungle wood boat, and we'll head over here. You can already kind of see it in the distance right now, just barely out of the, in the Minecraft fog up there. You can see some really gross, evil-looking, weird swamp trees. And we're running over some lily pads. But over here, I was searching around. I decided to head in a specific direction, and I found... And I don't even remember why I was going this direction now. But I found... Whoa, I'm stuck in a thing. That was pretty weird. But I found this area over here, and I dug some of it away, or some of it turned into dirt. I don't even remember what happened here. I must have dug some of this away, and there used to be other stuff here. I planned to dig the rest away again later. But right here, there was this weird altar, and we found a book here. I was very confused. There were these evil-looking trees that have these weird, gross, ugly colors. They look all deformed and strange. It looks way different now, especially with the new textures, because we're using the new version of Netherrack now, so it looks pretty strange. But But yeah, we had this weird stuff here, and there was like this pillar here, and we found Harold as a pig, and it was very scary. And in this chest, we found a book, which actually is back at our library. We'll go check that out when we get back home. But we found a book telling us that the witch that we killed when we first took over the witch hut, all the way back at the beginning, the witch that we killed, Circe is her name, said that she wasn't really dead, or maybe she'd been resurrected. I'm still unclear as to what's going on there, but she wants her revenge, and she started by turning our good friend Harold into a pig, which was really, really sad. And now we took him home, we took care of him, he's back home, upstairs. But she didn't even stop there. She turned our villagers into pigs as well, which is just cruel. You see these weird piggy villagers. I think it's absolutely cruel. But, you know, I guess that's the way the world is. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with that. And also, we found recently, I guess after that, the next thing we heard from her was we found we found a book talking about her in our library. I was reading through my basement library, and I found a book that actually discussed her, which was pretty weird. But let's go check that out, because I forgot we haven't looked at the library yet. So I guess we'll talk about that when we get to the library. Eventually, I realized I had too many magic books to store them all in our house, and I decided I wanted to store them in a library. So I built this short, squat little library. It's one of the first things I designed with the new textures in mind, which makes this building feel simultaneously old and new. But in here, you can see lots of bookshelves, and then I've got these chests. Not all of them are full of books yet, but there's some up here. I don't know if there's some over here. There's some over here. Lots of books. And then in our basement library, we have some of the more special things. We have one mending book, and then we have these things. So what happened was we found this... Oh, I remember. We found this book that said if you wish to see Harold again, head north. And that's what led us to the thing we found all the way over there. And then once we got there, we found this thing that said, you will pay. And it said, you thought you could kill me, you thought you could take my home from me, you will pay for what you've done. In the end, you will see my true form, Circe. Which is pretty frightening. I'm not really sure. At the time, I didn't really know what that meant, but I did some research in the library and eventually found this book right here, which told us to go search for the key. The key to finding Circe's home lies in her grandfather's tomb, which is why we went and took on her grandfather. Oceanus had a tomb at the bottom of the ocean, and that's why we went to the ocean to take on the Guardian Monument. And when we were there, we eventually found those gold blocks that told us that Circe's home is in the forest or something like that. Let's actually go look so we can remember what that said. It was like we had to sort... The blocks were all named different things. We had to sort out which way, to arrange them so that they actually said, made a sentence. In the end, it said, you must seek her home in the forest. So evidently we have to seek her home in the forest, but I don't know what forest yet. So we're going to have to do some more research in our library in order to figure that out. But for the time being, let's head into the Nether, because we haven't been there yet, and there's some stuff that we haven't covered. So this is the entrance to our Nether. This is the first staircase we built, and this goes directly to a Nether fortress, which is actually pretty exciting. So let's go there. I built another better staircase to get to it so we could get directly to our Blaze farm, which is really the reason we came into the Nether in the first place. We wanted to take on the Nether fortress, just because, that's something I wanted to do, but also specifically because we needed to do that in order to start brewing potions. Because we needed nether wart and blaze rods. And so I came here, and you can see there's torches all over the place from where I was lighting up this place just a little bit. And then we turned a blaze spawner into a blaze farm. And this farm is designed by Snow Crash, who I actually really enjoy some of his farm designs. Eventually, I think I want to build... I don't know if I'll build his gold farm or I'll build the one from Nembomb, but one of those donut-looking gold farms I want to do on the roof of the Nether eventually. Which will also make a great XP farm if we want it. But this has been the XP farm we've been using lately. And we collect blaze rods in here. We have so many that I sometimes like to actually spit them out. You can kind of see it right there. You can see the blaze rods getting spit out over there. That's how many blaze rods we have. We actually have too many. But eventually we came... This was an addition we did later on, as was... We made this 3 wide instead of 1 wide. It used to only be 1 wide, And then I put a little enchanting setup right here with my lapis and I guess a gold ingot. I didn't realize that was there, but I guess it is. But yeah, and this thing, the blazes spawn right there and they get picked up by the mine carts, dropped off over here. They get crushed right there, so they're left with only half a heart, and then we can just punch them to death if we want to and get the XP, or we can hit them with a sword that has looting on it to get even more blaze rods. But that's been a really, really useful item to have as far as mending up all of our tools. But yeah, I just thought, we're going everywhere. We'll go over here and look at this too. But now let's actually head back and go look at. We have to hit the desert, and we should stop by the Ocean Monument, our most recent place that we've been. But I think mostly this episode's not far from being done. There's not many more things we have to look at. We've done a lot of stuff. It's been pretty crazy how much stuff we've accomplished in this episode. I'm pretty proud of all the work we've done. I want to do some more work in the Nether. What I kind of want to do is move up all of our Nether tunnels into like the roof of the Nether. Do a tunnel system in the roof of the Nether to get around. I think that'd be kind of cool. But it's going to take a lot of work, so I don't want to quite start it yet. I'm not going to go all the way down there, but we have a mesa and a jungle that we discovered all the way over in that direction, very, very far in that direction. Oh, there's a ghast over there. We're going to have to fight that guy, I bet you. Anyway, we're not going to go there today because there's nothing actually to look at, nothing we've built or anything, just where we've been doing some mining. Where did he go? Here he is. Yeah, see, he didn't even see us. Okay, here we go. So this nether portal right here goes to our desert, and we'll stop in here real quick, just so, this desert we've been using mainly to mine up sand and sandstone. So we used it a lot when we needed to get sandstone for our, right here, we got it from right here, for our excavation site, and then we actually got, oh, I can only sleep at night. Oh, great. I'll sleep in just a second. But the other reason that we cleared away all this sand was to get sand for our ocean monument, which took a very, very, very long time. And you can see there's a lot of sand missing from here. That's all I really want to look at here, though. I slept real quick since there was a bed here. But let's actually make our way over to the Guardian Farm, which is in the same direction, just a little bit farther of a walk. It's actually a much farther walk, and it's the reason I want to put tunnels up in the ceiling is because then I could make either like a minecart, like a rail system, or I could do like an ice boat system or something to get around just a little bit faster, because this walking running speed right here is just not nearly fast enough for me for how far we have to travel. You can see it takes a really long time. In the places where I have a ceiling, I tend to do like, the super, jumping over and over again kind of thing, which gets me around pretty quickly. Uh-oh. There's a ghast up there. He's going to see us. So right here is the end of our nether tunnel. You can see, we've got some glowstone over here and some more like natural nether tunnels over here. And this is our portal that goes to the Guardian Farm. Now, before we walk through, I just want to tell you guys, I did some work over there between episodes and I made the place look really, really nice. And I did it as kind of a surprise for you guys to be the end of this episode right now. So we're going to go over there and you guys are going to see it. I put in some glass, so we have glass walls instead of sand walls, and I used some quartz, and I made things look really, really pretty. I used some dark oak and some other things, and it looks very, very pretty, and it's kind of a surprise for you guys that you can see. And I kind of figured, we've done enough episodes over there right now that you guys didn't need to see me do another episode over at the Guardian Farm. I decided I would do that work off camera. But I have done it, and it's ready to show to you guys. And I also added a few extra, because I know you saw in the last episode probably. If you saw the last episode, I put in I put in an iron golem. I added 2 more as well to help take care of the slime problem. But, so yeah, there's 3 iron golems over there with some cactuses and magma as well. I don't know if I'm going to leave those or if I'll eventually get rid of them, but just so you know, that's where, that there are those there, so don't be surprised by that. But let's head over. We're going to head over right now. And I'm actually really excited to show this to you guys. The world is loading up. You can see some quartz behind our nether portal right here. I made a new nether portal. Our old one used to be over there on that island, and there used to be, this is where all the sand, the chests of sand were. I cleared them all out and moved them over to our base. But this right here is our new Guardian Farm thing. Look at these gorgeous light blue stained glass walls with the quartz borders. I put quartz on the edges there and quartz on top. And then over here on the edges, I did just like cobblestone wall with a iron fence or whatever that thing is on top. What are these things called? Iron gate, iron fence? I don't even remember. Regardless, oh, I just fell down. Regardless, I'm really excited about this. And then what I did was I put in a minecart elevator, which I'll explain how that works in just a second. Getting down is really easy. I just walk into the minecart and I fall straight through it, but it suspends my movement so that I don't end up taking fall damage. But the way to get up is you actually just you take an empty hand, or it doesn't need to be an empty hand, and you just click really quickly, and you're clicking into the minecarts so that you end up sitting in the minecart just like this, and you can go and click all the way up to the top, and it's really cool, and it brings you right to the portal. But this right here is how I decided to do this kind of border around. I put a bed here so I could sleep to make it daytime again, and I put a AFK chamber right here. So I just click this button and step inside, and it's protected by an iron door, and then there's another button on the inside right there, and it protects me from slimes that spawn. That's mostly what it's for. Even the slimes mainly deal with the... What the heck? Our iron golems have turned into pigs too! They weren't like this in the last episode. The last time I was over here, these weren't pigs. They're like weird cyborg iron golem pig things. Oh my gosh, Cersei is getting to be a pretty serious problem. Our iron golems have been turned into pig golems. Okay, this is getting pretty weird. Anyway, this is what I have set up. I have 3 iron golems set up, and then this is the guardian farm that we most recently built. And this, at one point, was all water. If you haven't been following the series thus far, you should know that this place was full of water, and there was a guardian temple, a big ocean monument, and this is where we came to defeat Oceanus and his guardians, the tomb of Oceanus and his guardians, and we cleared the temple of all of its water. We cleared out all the water around it by covering the entire thing in sand all the way up to the ocean surface, and then we dug away all the sand, and then we cleared away the actual blocks of the ocean monument, and then we built this farm here so the guardians would spawn in the water and then fall down into this lava, and you can see them down here. We're getting shot at a little bit though. They still can shoot at me if they want to, but yeah. And then this is something I added in between episodes as well. I realized that XP was getting caught inside the farm, but if I stood up here and then opened the trap door, I could get the other XP. The farm is a little bit strange to use just because they have thorns, so I get kind of knocked back by the thorns of the guardians, and I actually take a little bit of damage. So that's unfortunate. I think what I want to do eventually is put like a resistance and regeneration beacon over here. I think that's probably a smart idea, but I don't have any beacon. I don't have a beacon yet, so we'll have to do that later. But you can see that there is XP that's getting stuck in there. So what I do is I open this up and then jump up here, and I get the XP. And I have one of these on either side, and I can get most of the leftover XP this way. It's just an unfortunate part of the farm, but I think it works pretty well. And then I just close it off so they can't shoot me. You can see there's a slime. This thing is in a slime chunk, which is why I have these things put here, so that the slimes will go over there and target the iron golems and then die on the magma and against the cactus. It's more than I need. I don't have to have the cactus here. It could just be the, he could just be standing on a block and surrounded by fences, and they could walk on the magma and it would kill them. But this is just what I decided to do, I guess. I don't really remember why. But yeah. So this is the new look. I think this looks gorgeous. I hope you guys like it. I think using the light blue glass in the walls looks really nice. It took a long time to smelt this glass and to place it all in, but I think it looks really, really nice. And with that, I guess I'm probably going to end this episode. This marks the most recent thing that we've done. You can see loads of guardian spawn. The other thing I did between episodes is I actually went under the water and I dug down and I found a bunch of cave systems in and around here, and I lit them all up so that there was no other hostile mobs spawning, which means it increased the rate of our guardian farm a lot. But it also increased the rate of the slimes that spawn. So we started getting more slimes, which is why I added more iron golems. But anyway, this is what we've done so far in this season. This is the most recent project, but everything we've looked at today, we've done in 25 episodes. It feels like I just started and like I've been doing this forever. It's such a weird thing, and I'm so happy for you people, the subscribers and viewers and everybody who enjoys this, for all the for everything you guys have watched and all the support you guys have given me. If you guys are enjoying this, please, here, I'll click into this view right here. If you guys are enjoying this, please leave a like, subscribe, do everything, you know, that all those other YouTubers are telling you to do, because it really does make a difference to me. I really love the support I'm getting. I do this because I have fun doing it, and I like showing you guys the stuff that I'm having fun doing, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. I plan to keep doing even more awesome stuff. I think this is such an exciting, fun, limitless game of just infinite potential. So I hope you guys enjoy watching it. I'll let you know right now, to celebrate everything we've been doing so far in this game, I am going to build a memento room in the room underneath our living room, but above our storage system, the one that's just made of stone right now. I want to build, it's gonna house all of our death mementos. It's gonna house the books we've gotten from Cersei and the map to the ocean monument and all kinds of other stuff. But right now, as the sun sets on our little Minecraft world we've been building together for 25 episodes, all I can say is keep being your beautiful selves, and I will see you guys all next time. Thank you so much for watching.